Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sidetrack here, bringing you our next episode in our Minecraft Let's Play series. So, if you remember from last episode, we were in the middle of working on kind of the basic setup for an automatic mob spawner. Now, we're going to use that because there are several mods that I want to use that require ender pearls, and I'm not very good at killing endermen. Yeah, they always get away. So, um, what we're going to do is we've kind of been back ending it right now. We've got some stuff from the nether that we're going to need to make the auto spawner, but we're also working on powering the auto spawner, and we are going to use industrial craft for that. You can see that I made a generator just to get us started. This episode, what we need to do is further down the industrial craft line. We need to make a metal former, because the metal former will allow us to make all of these fancy plates and copper cables without using our forge hammer or our cutters, which slowly degrade, and eventually you have to make new ones, which waste some resources. Furthermore, when you make cable or coils, nope, cable, I was right. Your cutters will give you 2, but your metal former will give you 3. So it's quite a bit more efficient. So to that end, let's go ahead and get started. We are making a metal former, so the first thing you'll notice is that we need to make these toolboxes. And in order to get toolboxes, we need to get bronze item casings. Now bronze, you need to combine 3 copper and 1 tin. Now there are several ways you can do this, but since we have these handy dandy smelteries right here, we're just going to go ahead and throw this in here. So we need 3 copper. Oh, how are we going to do this? And 1 tin. And that will make us some little bit of bronze. And tell you what, why don't I just throw all this in here? And I'm going to wish, let's do this. This will be much smarter. Well, throw 1 in there. Whoops. God, I'm having issues. Okay. Throw 1 tin ingot and 3 copper. And then with the other 10 ingots, can you see where I'm going with this? We are going to actually move the battery out of the way, turn our tin ingots into a tin block, and this way it'll, make this work a little bit faster. Why am I doing that one at a time? 4, and here we go. Actually, I don't need all of those tin. This is not my day. We'll see how that goes. Because I actually was going to use some of this copper to do something else. Copper, come back. There we go. And actually this should work out quite well. So what I need to do is wait for that bronze to cook up, then we'll turn it into ingots, and we'll use it to make our bronze item casings. The other thing we need to do with it is we need to use this copper to make coils, because we are going to need to make our cable to then make coils. I'm having issues today. I don't know what my deal is. So we're going to take this and stick it in the crafting window, and well, that's weird. Does it not? I'm just confused. What do I have to cut? I do have to cut I know what I have to do. I have to cut, yep, copper plates. Okay. So, copper plates. Go. You can see this forge hammer uses fairly quickly. Now we have to do copper cable. Excellent. Okay. So we need to take, I think it's an iron plate surrounded by, nope, just an iron ingot. Grab some iron from over here in my chest. And iron ingot, copper cables. I'm not going to use all of these. And I only want 3. Cool. With the other copper cables, we actually need to make ourselves an electronic circuit. Now these circuits are kind of a pain in the neck to make. We need to make insulated copper cable, which is just going to be, 6 rubber and those copper. And now we need to take an iron plate, 2 redstone. I think I have redstone in my inventory. Of course, only have 1 over here. Doot. And doot. There we go. Electronic circuit. So we are just now, so as we can make our machine casing, and then we're just waiting on bronze. And I'm going to go check on this. Hey, look at all that bronze. It's ready. And of course, I don't have anything. So, tons of bronze, more bronze than we need. But that's okay, because I will use it later. So I'm going to install this redstone again. There was some redstone over here. And I will meet you guys back once this all is done. Alright, got some bronze. Gonna turn our bronze into bronze plates, and then turn our bronze plates into bronze item casings. We need to clear out this crafting recipe or window. We need to take some chests. 1, 2, 3. And why am I making so many? I don't need 3. I only need 2. Make tool boxes. Take our toolboxes, stick them here. Basic item casings, electronic circuits, and those coils. We've got ourselves a metal former. Excellent. Now the next thing I wanted to do before we put that down is go ahead and let's actually make a little bit more. Make some. What am I doing? I'm having issues today. Make some insulated copper cable. Apparently I'm trying to make a copper cable like you make an electronic circuit. So the way power works in industrial craft is pretty much like in every other mod. You kind of put the items down, and they don't necessarily need any wires, which is pretty cool. And that's new to me. I was actually thinking I was going to have to put down some copper cable because they didn't used to do this. So this must be a little different. I'm not going to complain. So you can see that the generator has drained its buffer into the metal former. Metal former now has some power, and we can go ahead and use it. And I'll also throw another coal into our generator. Let it generate a little bit of power. All right, so we've got a generator to make ourselves some basic power. We've got our metal former to make a little bit more use, a little more efficient use out of making plates and making wires. The next thing we need to do is to make an extractor. Because what an extractor will do is it will help us get more rubber out of our sticky resin from our rubber trees out there. So what we're going to need is some wood, another machine casing, and another electronic circuit. Pretty cool. Now, what am I looking for? Why am I looking in there? Wood, we need tree tap. Tree tap looks something, and I never do this right. There we go. And let's actually just make all 4 of those right in one go. We need a basic machine casing, and I think we need an electronic circuit. Do I have? No, of course. I still don't have redstone in my inventory. Let's put those right there. Metal plate in the middle. And, well, it's a good thing we made those copper cables earlier because they will come in handy right now. All right, so tree taps on the side. Not that one. Can't usually use the tree tap, unfortunately. Or at least you never used to be able to. And what am I missing? Of course. This needs to go up here. That needs to go there. And ring around the rosy. Okay, so we've got our extractor. Now, I wonder if this is going to transmit power this way. It doesn't look like it. Go figure. All right, so it will transmit power through contact, but it will not transmit power through blocks. Good to know. The next thing we need to do, before we go and try and pick that thing up, we probably, might need 6, ought to make ourselves the wrench for industrial craft. That's for forestry. That's not what I want. I want the wrench for industrial craft. Excellent. Now, I don't know if they still do this, but it used to be when you tried to, oh, go figure. Yep. Oh, well. So, good example. The basic wrench has a chance when you right-click to remove a machine block to turn it from its original block back into a machine casing. Kind of a pain in the butt. So I will go ahead and remake that. And one of the things that you probably want to do fairly early on is to upgrade your wrench into an electric wrench, which you can put into what they call lossless mode, which basically makes it so you have a 0% chance of losing your items. But that requires a bit of things that I didn't have at the moment, so we'll have to work on that later. For right now, I'm going to go make another extractor. Good thing they're not terribly hard to make. Although the cool thing is now I get to show off how to use the metal former. So you'll notice that there are, there's a lot going on here. Basically, this is the power side. If you run out of power, you can always put a battery in here and charge it manually. There's, click here to see all the recipes, where'd that go? And this is the output side over here. You can put upgrades in the side that we will talk about later, but it's got a basic tooltip to tell you what will be compatible. And a lot of them make kind of logical sense, but we'll talk about them later. So let's see. Item goes in. We have it set to extruding mode, which will turn it into, cables. And we should get 3 cables out of it, which is pretty cool. So we don't have to use our forge hammer anymore. We don't have to use our cutters anymore. And this is more efficient than using that anyway. So excellent. All right, back in a second. Okay, we're back. So made myself another extractor. Sitting here all fancy. Doesn't have power yet, but I'm going to go ahead and throw some sticky resin in there and just let it sit. And we are going to have to figure out how to get this thing power now. So you'll notice that because it's not touching the generator, it's not going to get any power. I could even, show you there is energy in there, but it's not going to get anything. Yeah, we're going to have to do something about that. It's pretty simple. All you've got to do is add a couple of bits of cable, and then presto, power to our extractor. Excellent. Now, one thing you'll notice is that, this power is going to be depleted quite quickly. So buffer in the generator is draining, and then the buffer inside the extractor is going to drain, and you'll notice that, it requires a lot of power to do every single operation. So we probably need another way to store power. While we're at that, we probably want to go ahead and make one of these electric wrenches as well. So I've kind of started getting some components together, make ourselves an electric motor. We need to make ourselves a... I'm going to need some more of that resin. I knew there was a reason I want to throw that resin in there. So you'll notice that every operation actually gets me 3 rubber instead of just 1. So the extractor is a much better, much more efficient with the sticky resin. All right, come here, you. I need an electric circuit, and then I think I've got everything else I need. Will it shift click? No, of course not. I'm gonna have to make myself another battery for what I want to do in a minute. You come here. Is this right? I don't even remember. Electric circuit. Okay, cool. Tin item casings. Was that tin or was that? Nope, iron item casings. Come back here. All right, iron and our circuit. We have our small power unit. Now, I have a feeling that I'm probably going to, can't use a broken wrench or a partially damaged wrench, which is kind of a pain, but that's okay. We'll be a little wasteful here. All right, another bronze wrench and small power unit makes us our electric wrench. Now, I believe we're going to probably have to see if we can charge it in here. We might be able to. Not quite sure. Oh, excellent. It does. It will charge in there. Very cool. So we're going to charge up this electric wrench, and in the meantime, we are going to come over here, and we're going to work on something else for storing power. Specifically, we're going to make a bat box. There are several tiers of energy storage. within Industrial Craft, and your bat box is the easiest one to do and to make. So to do this, we are going to need a little bit of, I'm going to need some more tin, and specifically I'm going to need some more tin wires. So we're going to set to extruding mode, throw a tin ingot in here, and we'll let this charge. So what we need for our bat box is we need 5 pieces of any kind of wood, an insulated tin cable, which is what I'm missing, and some RE batteries, which are going to require some tin item casings, some redstone, and some more of that insulated tin. There we go. Some more tin. I'm going to craft the tin with a little bit of rubber, and we're going to need some more tin casings. I have 1 use left on my forge hammer. Let's go ahead and, do I have any tin? No, I don't. Well, nope. Ooh, sweet. Apparently I have more than 1. There we go. Now I'm out of uses for my forge hammer. Use this to make myself 1 more battery. And battery, battery, battery. Oop, I actually did have an insulated tin cable. Oh well. And we've got ourselves a battery box. And we got an achievement that I don't care about. So, to use this bat box, we're going to actually break that cable. You get the cables back, nice and easy. And you kind of right-click to put the bat box down in the world, and it will start to charge power. Now, I'm hoping... Excellent. Full storage in our screwdriver, or electric wrench, not a screwdriver. Grab some more coal. This is way more coal than we need. And I'm hoping that it will transmit power. Excellent, it does, just by touching. So what you'll see, and let me see if I can show you with this wrench. If you right click, it will turn and face this little white dot toward you. What that is the output. So you'll notice that it's now storing power in here, and none of it is being sent out to the extractor. Not quite what we want, so we're going to send it back to the extractor, and it can start to charge up, which is exactly what we want. Excellent. So now we've got a storage buffer of 40,000 EU, which is a decent amount of power. It's about, what, 10 coal. I think each one makes about 4,000 EU. And so that's a nice little buffer. Excellent. So we've got this going. Now, the next thing I want to do is that, we have lots of coal, but we have, limited amounts. And I don't have an automatic processing, quarry going on yet. So I kind of want to be a little more efficient with my power. And one thing that we can do, and this is actually going to help us with the build that we are, remember, working on, is a solar generator. Now, there are several different tiers of solar generators. The easiest one to make is just a simple solar panel. For all the other ones, like if we look at a low voltage, you're going to need 9 solar panels, and it gets much more complicated. And once you get to the high voltage solar arrays, they take forever to make because, yeah, you can see. So we are going to need to grind up some coal. We're going to need to make another generator, electronic circuits. All of these things are things that I've made before, although I suppose we are going to have to figure out a way to make coal powder, because I don't think we have... This does not do... No, that's just cooking. Well, let's go ahead and make a pulverizer. Since we're working with industrial craft, it is called a macerator. Macerator is pretty simple to make. We just need a basic machine casing, electronic circuit, some flint, and cobblestone. So I'm going to grab all this material and meet you back here. Alright, so we've got our macerator. Just needs a bit of things that are fairly simple to get now. Grab a macerator, And we are going to make this look a little weird for right now, but that's okay. It's going to hang out up here. Getting some power. And we're going to throw our 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and make a couple of solar generators. So remind you again, solar generators are going to need 3 pieces of pulverized coal, 3 glass, 2 electric circuits, and then a generator. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of wait for these things to get smushed up. I'm going to have to make actually a significantly greater number of iron plates for our. Don't need 64 of them for the machine casings. And while this all waits, I'll cut to a commercial break. Haha, just kidding. See you in a minute. All right, so after quite a lot of sitting around waiting for all this stuff to finish, we made 6 electronic circuits. We made some generators. Coal dust was actually pretty simple. And now we have 3 solar panels that we can do something with. Pretty neat. So, actually, let me grab. Oh, I already had some tin. Throw some tin in here. I want to turn this tin into tin wires. How many do I want? I'll just get 6. And while that goes, what we're going to do is put the solar panels up straight above this. If I can find my pickaxe. And the solar panels, at least from below, will look pretty decent. There we go. So let's see. I want to put one here, one there, and one up there. Now, nope, that's the macerator. Grab these tin cables. And one of the things that has been changed recently-ish with industrial craft is that wires don't really do what they typically used to do in industrial craft. At least in this version of industrial craft. So you'll see that the tin cable says that it's rated at 32 EU per tick. The copper one says it's rated at 128 EU per tick. They really don't seem to do any of that. I was actually playing around in a test world, and I had, full high voltage running through tin cables, and nothing blew up. I also noticed that none of the machines blew up. One of the things that used to be kind of a hassle, but kind of also enjoyable with industrial craft, was that you had to put the right voltage down the right cables and the right voltage into the right machines, otherwise things would blow up. Now it doesn't seem to really matter anymore. If you think about right now, we've got just a very basic setup, so we don't really have to worry about anything blowing up. However, as you get to some of the more complicated systems that put out more power, or some of the machines that require more power, you are going to be sending higher voltages down your lines. And you used to have to worry about blowing up little machines like, say, the macerator, which, only wants so much power. And if you send too much to it, you used to be able to blow it up. Now it doesn't look like that's the case, which is kind of nice, I guess. It kind of brings it more in line with a lot of our other, power systems, if it's, thermal expansion or new Ender IO. I'm not sure if they're doing that intentionally or if they're just a temporary measure until they work the kinks out, or if it's just in this pack. It's hard to figure out everything with industrial craft, for me, mostly because I don't spend forever in a day figuring it out. But for right now, our solar panels will generate power in the daytime. So that means we need to make it daytime. And each solar panel should produce 1 EU per tick. So it's a very small amount of power. But you can see that it's sunny and they're getting power because this is lit up at nighttime. This would not be lit up. And so I'm going to go ahead and take the coal out of our generator. So then the generator won't even kick on. We've got a storage of 40,000 EU in this bat box. And so that lets us do simple things, like maybe turning some tin ingots into, I'm just doing this for the sake of doing it. I might need them later. And you can see that this is going to drain some power, but, well, this has got to drain out first. But it will be replenished very slowly by our solar panels. So until we need a large operation, we won't have to kick the generator on at all, which would be kind of nice. All right, so we got our tin plates. You can see that bat box is still full, generator is empty, solar panels are doing their thing. Great. So, next up, what have we got? What have we got to do? I think I'm going to go run and see if I can trade with some villagers. I remember there's a village down here we had explored a bit before. I need some emeralds for my auto spawner. A-U-T-O. Where is it? Auto spawner. So I need 2 emeralds. I'm going to bring hopefully some wheat along with me to trade. Wonder if I've got more wheat growing down there. I'm going to head on off in that direction and be back in a few. Well, this should work out rather nicely. We've got a villager who's got an emerald. Excellent. Go ahead and trade for 2 emeralds. And oop, give me back that wheat that you're not going to take. Ooh, and he likes me. So, very cool. I thought originally I was going to have to trade with, no, not that guy. This guy, who was going to give me emeralds for paper, but then I found this guy right next to him. So that works out well. So that was pretty easy, actually, a whole lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And so now I've got to work my way back this way, although I think I might raid their farm before I go. Alright, back at home. Stashing our emeralds in a nice safe place with our diamonds and all of our other good stuff. And the next thing I want to do is actually do something a little down below. And to help with our endeavor, I actually want to make something a little crazy. Well, a little crazy, I don't know about that, but a little different that will serve us for a little while, and then we'll have to change it around. I'm hoping it will work with our current armor, but I suppose we'll have to find out. Since we're going down the path of industrial craft, one of the cool blocks that you can make is what is called an extruder. Or excuse me, a magnetizer. We were just extruding. And to make a magnetizer, did I make one of these yet? No, I haven't made it yet. To make a magnetizer, you need to do like so. Ooh, put that down. And what the magnetizer does is it will magnetize your boots and then allow you to, well, let me show you. Let's switch this back to rolling. I need to make a couple more fences. So fences are pretty easy to make. Basically, you make some plates, and then it's getting to be nighttime. I'm gonna have to recharge my bat box. You make some iron plates, and then you extrude them into the fence. So we're making some iron plates. I suppose we have to make the iron, what are they called? Whatever these turn into. I'm horrible with names. If you hadn't figured that out by now, you know, we're lucky when things are not, you know, this thing and that thing. All right, so I'll be back in a few once we make these iron item casings and turn them into fences. All right, set to extruding mode, rolling or squeezing out these iron fences, and back in a second. All right, here we are. So dug myself down, nice little hole, connected on the other side and started bringing some tin cable down. I actually relocated my essence berry bushes from the old base, and I actually got some essence berries off of them. They've been growing. I actually grabbed dinner because I was hungry. So they've actually buried, I think, twice, and then they had berries on them when they were down there, so that works out. And I'm going to use those in a little bit. They're not really doing what we're doing right now. They're just hanging out and growing. So we need to put, how do we want to do this? I suppose, let's try it here. Oh, that's right. This is going back to that cavern, but that's okay. The magnetizer goes there. And I need, kind of want that, There's all this kinds of stuff to mine. And coal, have to remember that the coal is there. We're not going to waste everybody's time getting the coal. Yep, I do want to put one there. Okay. And then I made myself some more tin cables. We're going to run the tin cables out of the magnetizer and up and around. I might hide them at some point, but for right now, I'm okay with seeing them. How is this going to work? Break that one. All right, so, and connect that over. Excellent. Now, magnetizer, where'd my fences go? Oh, they're already right here. Okay, so fence, 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 fence. Now, I have a feeling that the current boots are not going to work. They're Invar boots, they're from thermal expansion, but we'll find out. No. All right, let's step off of this, switch to our iron boots, and now the magnetizer, and you might have an idea of what this is going to do. It's going to magnetize our iron boots. Oop. Come on, let's go. Chop, chop. Well, that's disappointing. Give me a second to figure out what's going on. Oh, yeah, that would be smart. So you actually have to have the cable going to the output side of the bat box. That would be very useful. So let's break the, no, that's an iron fence. Where's my cable? The cable and the iron fence, I don't know, they look somewhat similar to me apparently. Okay, now let's see how this looks. All right, so it charged up the magnetizer, and now we're sitting here at full again. Oh, in case you're wondering how I got up, I'm a bat. Take off the iron boots. And turn back into ourselves for, oops, not a magma cube, for our demonstration here. All right, iron boots go on, and whee! So we're going to have to, yeah, get rid of those blocks at the top. All right, I think I've got this the way I want it. So magnetizer is offset just a little bit from the edge, so we can ride it up and be up at the top where we want to be. And if we want to go down, we jump in a hole, land in some water, and don't take any damage. Pretty cool. I haven't played with a magnetizer in forever, so this is kind of cool. It's not going to last forever, and I'm definitely going to have to pretty up kind of this whole, gonna pretty up this whole downstairs room, but this is pretty cool. I like it. And it uses a tiny amount of power each time you ride it, as you can see. So if we actually go ahead and break this, you can see that there's 38,774. Let's go ahead, drop down, and then take a ride up. And we're looking at 38,711. So really not very much power at all. So you don't have to feel bad about riding the elevator. All right, so we have power. We've got emeralds. We've got pretty much everything we need to... Actually, do we have everything we need? Pretty much everything we need to make our auto spawner. Let me grab the ingredients, and let's go ahead and do this. Let's get this done this episode. Run out of time, but we'll go a couple minutes long. Back in a second. All right, so I realized while I was out that I didn't actually own any sugarcane. So I scouted the river, and actually right over here there was a bunch of sugarcane. So I grabbed it all and planted it. So now I've got a very, very, very simple sugarcane farm. And I have the one piece of sugarcane that I need to make sugar. Back in a second. The next thing that we're going to need for pretty much all of the Mine Factory Reloaded blocks is what they call plastic. Now, plastic is made from smelting rubber. You can smelt either the industrial craft rubber, or you can smelt the Mine Factory Reloaded rubber. Actually, yeah. So making ourselves some raw plastic, which we are going to use to make our factory machine block. It'll get us a couple of them. Very cool. Back in a bit. Okay, making some plastic sheets out of our plastic. Grab those. I threw a crafting table up here just because I didn't want to mess up what I was doing down here. So we're going to need the plastic sheets for the top of that. We are going to need to do I need stone, which we have right over here. And get some experience. So plastic sheets. There we go. And stone. Excellent. 3 factory blocks. Now I think, provided I did this right, there is our auto enchanter, our auto spawner. It's an auto something. So we're going to need to use the essence berries from here, and the power that we're going to tap into from here to power this auto spawner to create Endermen. So the only piece, well, we have a couple pieces left to do, but we need to catch ourselves an Enderman, and I think we're going to go ahead and call it here. And then next episode we will catch some Endermen, throw this whole thing together, and finally, after what, like 4 episodes, 5 episodes, be done and be able to use the fruits of our labor. So until next time, this is Sidetrack signing off. Take it easy, folks.